He was a nobleman, a man of wealth and ancient power. But his hospitality was a lie. A young lawyer, sent to a remote, crumbling castle, finds himself not a guest, but a prisoner. He soon discovers his host is not just a recluse, but a monster who feeds on the living, a creature who turns innocent women into his brides, whose kiss promises eternal life, but demands your very soul. This is the story of a shadow that fell across an entire city. A story of forbidden desire, an ancient curse, and the terrifying truth that some things are better left buried. Now, the story itself. Tenny presents Dracula by Bram Stoker. It began with a business trip. Jonathan Harker, a promising young solicitor, traveled to the remote Carpathian mountains to finalize a land purchase with an eccentric nobleman, Count Dracula. The warnings of the locals meant nothing to him. He was a modern man of logic and reason. But from the moment he arrived at the dark, looming castle, an unnerving chill settled in his soul.
Welcome to my house. Enter freely and of your own will.
The Count was a man of old-world charm and chilling intensity. Tall, pale, with a grip of steel. Days turned into a waking nightmare. Jonathan found himself a prisoner. He never saw the Count eat. He found no mirrors in the entire castle. And one terrifying night, he saw the truth.
My God. He's crawling down the wall. Head down. Like some sort of creature.
Trapped and losing his sanity, Jonathan made a desperate entry in his journal.
I know now the truth. This man is no man. He is a monster, and I am to be his next meal.
As Dracula prepared to leave for England, Jonathan Harker made a final, desperate gamble, scaling the castle walls to escape with his life and his sanity hanging by a thread. Meanwhile, in England, Jonathan's fiancée, the gentle and intelligent Mina Murray, worried for his safety. She stayed with her dear friend, the beautiful and vivacious Lucy Westenra. Lucy was the picture of happiness, having just accepted the marriage proposal of the wealthy Arthur Holmwood, choosing him over her other two admirers, Dr. John Seward and the American Quincy Morris.
Oh, Mina, why can't a girl marry 3 men, or as many as want her, and save all this trouble?
But a shadow was stretching from the east. A strange ship, the Demeter, was spotted off the coast, battling an unnatural storm. When it finally ran aground, the crew was gone. Only the captain's corpse remained, lashed to the helm. His log told a tale of a creeping dread, of a tall, thin man, and of a crew vanishing one by one. The ship's only living passenger was a great black dog, which leapt ashore and vanished into the countryside. That same night, Lucy began to walk in her sleep, drawn to the cliffs by an unseen force.
Lucy, wake up! You'll catch your death.
Mina found her on a bench overlooking the harbor, a dark figure with red, glowing eyes bending over her. When the figure looked up, it was gone. And on Lucy's pale throat, Mina found 2 small red marks. Lucy's health began to fail. She grew pale, weak, and was plagued by terrifying nightmares. Her suitor, Dr. Seward, was baffled. He could find no scientific explanation for her rapid decline. In desperation, he called upon his old mentor, a brilliant doctor from Amsterdam, Professor Abraham Van Helsing.
I have never seen such a case, Professor. She loses blood, but there is no wound. It is as if life itself is being drained from her.
Van Helsing examined Lucy, and his face grew grim. He saw the marks on her neck and understood a truth too terrible for modern science.
This is no common sickness. There are things that reason cannot explain.
He ordered the room filled with garlic flowers and insisted on a series of blood transfusions. One by one, Lucy's suitors, Arthur, Seward, and even Van Helsing himself gave their own blood to save her.
Take all you need, Professor. That little gal ain't gonna die on my watch.
But every night, the darkness returned. Every morning, Lucy was weaker, paler. Her gentle nature began to change. She became seductive, her voice throaty, her eyes holding a new, unholy light.
Arthur, come to me. Kiss me.
No, stand back. That is not Lucy speaking.
Despite all their efforts, it was not enough. Lucy Westenra died, or so they thought. Grief settled over the small group of friends, but their nightmare was only beginning. Soon, London newspapers began reporting a strange story. A bloofer lady, a beautiful lady in white, was luring children away in the night, leaving them with strange marks on their necks. Van Helsing knew the terrible truth.
I am sorry to tell you this, Arthur, but Lucy is one of the undead, a vampire, and she will continue to feed, creating more monsters unless we stop her.
The men, horrified and disbelieving, agreed to meet Van Helsing at Lucy's tomb after dark. They found her coffin empty. Just then, a figure in white emerged from the shadows, carrying a lost child. It was Lucy, but it was not Lucy.
My love, you have come for me.
Her eyes burned with hellfire, her lips were red with fresh blood, and her voice was a mockery of the girl they had loved. Van Helsing held up a crucifix, and she recoiled, snarling, dropping the child and retreating to her tomb.
Now, Arthur, it must be you. It is your right and your duty. You must send her soul to peace.
With tears streaming down his face, Arthur Holmwood took the stake and hammer, and, with one terrible, merciful blow, he freed the soul of the woman he loved. At last, a weak and traumatized Jonathan Harker was found in a hospital in Budapest. Mina rushed to his side, and they were married. She returned with his journal, and, by transcribing it, alongside Dr. Seward's diary and their own letters, the full, horrifying picture became clear. The monster from the castle was here, in London, and he was the one who had destroyed Lucy.
We know his name, Dracula. We know his purpose, to create a new kingdom of the undead in our bustling city.
Then we are an army of light, and we must hunt him down.
The group united, a band of brothers dedicated to ridding the world of this evil. They used their knowledge to find and sterilize Dracula's hiding places, boxes of his native soil scattered across London. But the Count was a creature of ancient cunning. While the men were hunting him, he struck at their heart. He went after Mina. The men returned to find a scene from their worst nightmares.
You think to thwart me? You, with your puny brains and your modern toys? She is now mine. Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. When I command her, she will come.
Dracula had not only fed from Mina, but had forced her to drink his own blood, creating an unholy psychic bond between them. He vanished into the night, leaving them with a new, terrible purpose. They were no longer just hunting a monster, they were racing to save Mina's soul. With his lairs in London destroyed, Dracula fled back to the safety of his homeland. But the bond he shared with Mina became his undoing. Van Helsing could hypnotize her, and through her connection, they could glimpse the Count's journey.
I hear the lapping of water, the creak of a ship. The sun is rising. I see snow, mountains.
They knew his destination, Castle Dracula, and they knew his weakness. He was powerless during the day and must rest in his native soil. The hunt was on. They pursued him across Europe, by train and by boat. For the final leg, the group split. Van Helsing and Mina went directly to the castle to cleanse it of its evil. The others raced to intercept the box, carrying Dracula's dormant body, which was being transported by loyal gypsies. It was a desperate race against the setting sun.
Faster, He grows stronger as the sun falls.
We ain't letting him get home. Not now, not ever.
As the last rays of light bled from the sky, they cornered the wagon just outside the castle gates. The gypsies fought to protect their master, a flurry of blades and fury. But the hunters were driven by a righteous cause. As the sun touched the horizon, Jonathan and Quincy fought their way to the coffin. They threw open the lid. Inside lay the Count. His eyes were open and they blazed with a look of pure, triumphant hatred. With a desperate cry, Jonathan Harker raised his kukri knife and slashed it across the vampire's throat. At the exact same moment, Quincy Morris plunged his Bowie knife deep into the Count's heart. For a single, eternal second, nothing happened. Then, the Count's body, in the final ray of the setting sun, crumbled into a fine pile of dust. The curse was broken. Mina, watching from the castle walls with Van Helsing, felt the mark on her forehead disappear. Her soul was her own again, but their victory came at a cost.
I'm done for. But we won. Didn't we? Tell Mrs. Harker. The scar's gone.
The brave American, mortally wounded in the fight, died with a look of peace on his face. The long night was over. The shadow had passed, and in the quiet snow of Transylvania they mourned their friend, finally, truly free. Next time on Tenny Presents A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. The key takeaway from Dracula lies in the clash between the 19th century's faith in progress and the persistence of ancient evil. It teaches us that modernity and science are not immune to the darkness that predates them. The novel's central theme is that some forces, rooted in superstition and raw desire, cannot be explained away by logic alone. They must be confronted with a combination of new knowledge and old faith. From the deepest shadows of Transylvania, we leave behind a world of ancient dread and forbidden desires. But sometimes, the most terrifying phantoms are not those who hunt in the night, but the ghosts of our own past, our own choices. Join us next time as we trade a castle of horror for a story of hope and ask a single, chilling question. Is it ever too late to save a man's soul?